Did you know Teddy Roosevelt may have had an encounter with Bigfoot? Yes, President Theodore Roosevelt. Now, he was apparently told this story by a seasoned hunter named Bauman, but many think that this is just a cover and this is actually his story. This story apparently occurred when Bauman was a young man and he was hunting with a partner. They were somewhere in the mountains and they were not having a lot of luck, so they decided to go to a more wild pass within the mountains that was said to have a lot of beavers. But this pass had a very bad reputation because a year prior, a hunter was found partially eaten and dismembered by a group of prospectors. But they kind of disregarded this and they decided to go there thinking that the hunting would be better. They found a glade with a little stream and they set up their temporary shelters. And then with a few more hours of daylight, they decided to walk up the stream just to see where they'd be hunting and then came back to their camp destroyed. Their lean-tos had been completely destroyed and the supplies in their packs had been taken out and strewn everywhere, so they initially thought that it was a bear. Now, while Bauman was making supper for them, his partner decided to take a closer look at the tracks and the trail that they left, and he said, "Bauman, this bear was walking on two legs." And Bauman kind of laughed and he took a look and they talked about it and they couldn't really tell in the dark, but they even said these kind of looked human. They were awoken in the middle of the night to a very foul smell, and Bauman saw a large figure in the tree line, and he took a shot at it, and he missed. And then whatever it was went running back into the forest, but they felt very uneasy. They didn't really talk about it the next day, they were just very uncomfortable. And when they came back from trapping and hunting, their camp was destroyed again. They decided to take turns watching that night, though I doubt either of them got sleep. The creature returned, but was still just out of eyeshot, but it was growling and making noises, and they could hear the cracking of branches around them. The next morning, they decided that they were going to get the fuck out of there that afternoon, but they still had to go around and get all of their traps. So when there were only 3 traps left, Bauman offered to go get them while his partner set up the camp and got ready to leave. But then Bauman found that they had caught a lot of beavers and they had to prepare these beavers before leaving. It took him longer than he was comfortable with. The sun was going down, so he booked it back to camp right after, and he shouted when he got back to camp and got no response. He saw that the campfire had gone out and all of their supplies were prepped to go, and then he saw his partner's body on the ground. His neck had been broken, and there were bite marks. The body was still warm and surrounded by those very human-like footprints. So he got the fuck out.